الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على محمد الأمين وعلى آله وأصحابه والتابعين. When Muslim scholars considered the wisdom behind having the name Ramadan specifically for the month that we are to fast until the Day of Judgment, they looked at least three things or three sources. The etymology, history, and hadith. So when it comes to history, a number of Muslim scholars noticed that the names of the months seem to reflect the seasons. So they said that originally when the names were named, the season was taken into consideration. For example, the name Rabi' until now in modern Arabic means spring. And the name Jumada is associated with freezing and ice and would suggest winter. And the name Ramadan is associated with heat and hence would suggest the summer. But obviously we're talking about lunar months, and that initial naming was in a sense forgotten. Now, even if this is the history, if it is true, it is still only an occasion and not a reason. This is a little bit like having an occasion for the revelation of an ayah, asbab al-nuzul. But even in an ayah, the reason or the asbab here, the occasion, might be related only to one event on one person, but the ruling is general and basically for eternity. So then they focused on the etymology of the word Ramadan, and which is, when you look at it, associated, as we mentioned, with heat and burning. For example, the word Ar-Ramḍā is the ground that has been exposed to the sun for a long time for intense heat, and it became very hot, in fact burning. And they made the analogy that Ramadan is a time where sins are burnt, and it is also a struggle for the nafs, the sense of heat. And for that association is will go to another point, which is ultimately related to the third source, which is hadith. So hadith, there is a hadith narrated through the Sahabi radiyallahu anh, Abu Huraira, that's mentioned by Imam Nawawi, Imam Suyuti, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. And that hadith is quite intriguing in the sense that it discourages people to use only the word Ramadan without using the word month, shahr. And the reason that's stated is that Ramadan is ultimately a name of the names of Allah Azza wa Jal. And scholars understood Ramadan in that sense as Al-Ghafir, the one who forgives. And that's meaning also, obviously, وَمَنْ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ إِلَّا اللَّهِ, and who forgives except Allah Azza wa Jal. And that hadith agrees very nicely with another hadith, which is a Quds hadith, that says, الصوم لي, inshallah, الصوم لي وأنا أجزي به. Fasting is for me, and I am the one, and I reward, or I am the reward, or I am the one who rewards. Now, so in that sense, so Ramadan is a time of maghfirah, and a time of when sins are destroyed, and is a time that, inshallah, will be able to fast and to take advantage of, inshallah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum.
We are in the quest for more, in the quest for more.